Hey folks, it's Joe here with Creekside Cabin Games, checking in to show you what we've been working on. It has been a while. Unfortunately, my mom fell and her hip popped out of its socket, so we've been helping out with her, taking care of her. So I haven't been working a lot, but I have got a lot of things done. I did a lot before she got hurt that I haven't got to make a video about. So I'm just going to go through because there's so much. Hang on for the ride. It looks like the first thing we did here is in the UI we added a cool little trail effect for when the player scores, and this is definitely not a finished state thing, but I just wanted to show some flair when my controller's still connecting here. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop and turn off the first enemy spawner, and we'll show you that in a little bit. So yeah, let's get started here. I'm going to show you watch after I land a trick here. Basically, you can see the trail on the screen there, the blue ball that then melts into the total score, which is then added above to the committed score there. So we take the multiplied score. Oh, that's another thing we do when we crash now. Whenever there's a combo, we erase it with those triple X's to kind of show that you didn't score. All right. So yeah, we got the Bezier effect trail there. That took like a whole week to figure out the Bezier trail and figure out how to keep stuff on the UI and not in world space. The trick is using stacked cameras, which CoreEngine did not come configured for, and because I'm a noob with making games, I didn't realize that was an option. So I fixed all my cameras to make that work, and now I have the opportunity to make all kinds of cool effects in the UI rather than in world space. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we added a better level finish situation. So let's move the level start right before the level finish here, so we can show you how this looks. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna switch over to the trick level to show this off. We don't want to save. Okay, so let's move the level start down to near the level finish. And basically what I did is make it so the game slows down and keeps focus on the finish line after you finish. And I deactivate parts to allow the player to pause and allow the player to crash. So just to make it a little smoother. And everything I do is to set up stuff for later. So yeah, we get a little fanfare around the finish line. We get the slowing down screen. So I'll show you like what happens if I try to crash. It just won't let me. So like if I come in, as long as my board hits the finish line, it's pretty much impossible to crash. And even I turn off the ray casts that check for crashing, like if your front or your back hit the ground or your head. Okay. I added a little bit with the cheering and fanfare. Let's see, does this one I put in I haven't done that yet. Oh, also in this time I had a memory leak where I was loading 2.6 gigabytes of text before I started the game, and I couldn't figure out why the game took like a half a second longer each time to load. So yeah, I was adding to a giant text file and never cleaning it up. So I fixed that bug. I improved grinding a little bit. Let's go look at that. It's still not perfect. I think because I'm running in that editor. But like basically what used to happen is the player would snap right to the grind surface when they hit the button and they were permitted to grind. But now I have like a really small lerp happening. So it's a little bit smooth. The camera doesn't jerk as much. It still jerks though when you start a grind. So let's check it out. It happens so fast you can't even tell the sprite changes on the player. So yeah, you see it still like clips a little bit when you come off. Yeah, you can see how jerky the motion is when you're playing an editor with the stands flying in the back. Yeah, my idea is that there will be explosions happening and the fans in the back will fly upwards and fall back down. I'm not sure if I showed that before, but yeah, grinding's improved a little bit. Oh yeah, I added some trees. And this is obviously not the end state of trees here, but I added a little script to them where about half the time or so when you pass a foreground tree, snow will fall off of it. So let's see if we can trigger that. And again, it's not the final snow effect, it's just to show what it might look like. So there, none of them did it. Let's try again. It's just, if you're not lucky, you won't see the snow fall off. There we go. Anyhow, okay. Improved grinding. Or I'm sorry, trees with collision and snow falling off. Okay, I showed you this stuff. I did a lot of bug fixes, a lot of like collision fixes, because there were issues where during combat the enemy would collide with the player before triggering the game object's collider to turn off, and it was making the player spin. I'm not sure if when I did this. Yeah, so let's see here. I made the board stick to the ground better. And the key thing I did is lock the rotation for one frame when the board lands flush with the ground. So that prevents any like momentum from like skipping the board up. And I'll show you the best place where I can illustrate that. So anytime, no matter like how you land, if both the front and back are on the ground, you're gonna stop rotating. But I'll show you, yeah, right, coming up here, there was a place where it was really hurting the experience. So if you land with your front forward, like here, this was really messing up. And it was like shooting the player back up into the air right there. But now he just stays flush once he lands. I wish I could have a little spring action to like have a bendy board, but I just have not gotten it to work, and it's not something I can spend weeks and weeks on right now. You know, I'm just addicted to playing the game, so I'm gonna play a little bit. Alright, let's see. So yeah, way better landing on the board. It's just way funner to play. It makes more sense. I basically like do annoyance driven development with this game, where if something annoys me, I turn it off or fix it. I pixelated some of the particles like the snow because that's with the art style that I'm going to go with. We are going to have a pixel art style, so I don't want to have high def sprites for the particle effects. I'm going to show you also what the I think I can show it here. This is a mock-up of the art so far. So we got our main character here. I don't know, we can't really zoom in from here. But we have our main character pretty much worked out, and we have some of what the mountains and the surfaces are going to look like, and trees and the sun, etc. So We also have our first song produced, so we can start making promotional videos and stuff. Okay, and then the next thing we added was the ring enemy and the radial shield. Oh, you know what? Before we go into that, let's see. This is a height indicator, so the player always knows how high they are from the ground if they're over a certain height. And we also do a little color changing to show the if they're really close, it turns red. The numbers are red. So that's just a little more feedback, because the 2D snowboarding is like the number one problem is how do you tell when you're about to hit the ground off a jump like this, right? So now we know how far we are off the ground. It also it moves to the other side when the camera's going the other way. So I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to show it. There we go. So yeah, yeah, and then like I said, let's check out the ring enemy, because this is really the cool stuff that we did. The most impactful thing we did. Go to enemy spawns. Oh, I'm on the boss level. I want the battle level. Okay, so we're gonna see on the first spawn point, we're gonna trigger this ring of guns that's gonna shoot at me, and I have a shield that I use my right stick that I can block the projectiles with. So there's my shield. There's the ring gun. And it disappeared because I blocked both bullets that it was going to shoot. And then I made it configurable so you can change how long to wait between each shot, and how many shots the enemy should take, how long it should take to fade out. Next, we just add more juice, make it fade in, more sound effects, things like that. That's it, man. Thank you all for continuing to watch the videos, and it's going to be looking more like a real game here when we get some more art. So stay tuned and take care.